documentary film crew capture irrefutable proof of Frogman? Does Frogman carry a wand and have special powers? And most importantly, does Frogman fuck? Let's dive into it. Frogman is the 2024 found footage horror about a group of filmmakers who head to Loveland, Ohio in order to find irrefutable proof of Frogman's existence. The movie opens up with camcorder footage in 1999 following a family on a road trip. One of the family members is a young boy named Kyle who experiences Frogman firsthand. But no one believes him. He sets out with his two friends 20 years later to find actual proof and document his existence. And they get a little bit more than they bargained for. Overall, I really enjoyed this. As a found footage horror fan, I feel like it hit all the different marks that I usually look for. It has a really strong story centered around this bonkers premise of this frogman, but it's kind of cool that that's set in reality, like that's an actual legend. It has a little bit of a Willow Creek vibe meets Blair Witch Project. It also has a great cast of characters who you actually connect with. They seem and feel genuine, like real friends who are just trying to have fun out in the woods, and you really connect with them and worry for them. I also love the way the film is shot. It gives that genuine, real home movie feel, and I believe they shot it on an actual camcorder. And so what we are seeing is a little bit rough around the edges. The audio isn't the best at times, and sometimes it's a little scratchy and staticky, but I love that about it. It makes it feel legit, like you're watching someone's actual found footage. And I feel like it works for the story because our lead character wants to essentially recapture the moment that he experienced as a kid on their little camcorder. So he's using the same camera that his dad used on their vacation. I like that the story is revolving around this legend, but it's also a journey of friendship. These three people who are at different points in their lives, and there's also a romantic subplot in there. There's a lot going on for these characters along with searching for this frogman. When these group of characters get into the town and start interviewing people, there's just some really fun moments with the people they're interviewing seemingly on the street. And there's one interaction in particular where the person is kind of talking about how Frogman fucks. And it's just such a funny, odd, weird interaction, but it stood out, and I think it's gonna stand out to all of you as well. First half of the movie is very run-of-the-mill, found footage style horror, where we're getting the setup, we're learning who these characters are, and we're learning the backstory of this frogman. And we're seeing this environment, this little community that has essentially flourished because of the frogman legend. It's similar to like when Bigfoot is spotted somewhere, or even the Jersey Devil, the Mothman. Those areas end up benefiting from this story because it captures the attention of tourists around the world who want to find the cryptid and experience it and have a good time. And there's just moments where it feels legit while these people are actually going through this town and speaking to real people. And then when we get to the third act of the movie, probably like the last 30 minutes or so, it is insane. The characters experience something that's insane, over the top, otherworldly, and then it just becomes very chaotic where it goes to places I was not expecting it to go, and it's shocking where it goes. And it's also really fun. The whole setup, it reminded me of a segment that would be in VHS, one of the VHS movies. It's just an extended version of that. I think it's well paced where you get those moments with the characters, but it's not too much where it's boring. Like everything they're doing is moving the plot along, and then when they get to those big moments, you care for them. I will say that we also do get to see Frogman, and he's pretty cool. I thought the special effects in this movie were very well done considering the budget. The frog itself is, yes, ridiculous, but it's also very creepy the way that the story plays out. And there's also unique elements brought from the Frogman legend into the story involving like goo that these characters see and the effects that this goo might have on you if you get it on you. And there's just some other insane stuff that I can't really get into because I don't want to spoil it for you, but just know that it's ridiculous, but it's scary. It feels genuine, like a home video, and I absolutely loved it. I think if you're a fan of found footage horror movies, if you're a fan of creature features in particular, and if you like stuff like Willow Creek, you'll like this one. I do highly recommend it if you're a found footage horror fan. I feel like you need to be a special breed to enjoy that kind of horror because it takes its time to get there, but when it gets there, the payoff payoff is worth it, and I think if you give it a chance, you'll have a lot of fun with it. You can rent this one currently on VOD. I rented it on Vudu for like $5, and I think it's worth it. So if you've checked this one out, let me know your thoughts, and thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye.